A recently published geological survey showed arsenic and uranium contamination in approximately 4% of wells in Connecticut's tested homes. According to the Department of Public Health, there are approximately 322,000 private wells in Connecticut. Before buying a home, many call on Tom Morgan, a certified ASHI home inspector. Let's hear what Tom has to say on the issue of well inspections.
So we're in the back of this beautiful house. This is called a well casing, this steel pipe. We know by looking at this externally, they have a drilled well. In Connecticut, we have a shallow well and a drilled well. This is a drilled well. The pump is inside this steel casing, could be 100, 200 feet. The pump itself is about 35 inches in length, 2.5 or 3 inches in diameter, and it lives in the water down in this casing. This black pipe does not carry the water to the house. That's an electrical wire that comes here, and there's a splice in the top that we will examine in a few moments. So the well casing cap is split. As you'll see, I'm unbolting the bolts that hold this casing on. This is a good quality cap. We got stainless steel bolts here. Makes my job much easier. This is a split cap. It's coming off. There's a gasket here. It keeps insects and debris from getting in here. I'm reaching in here, and now I'm pulling out the wire. This wire that my hand is on is providing the electrical power down to the pump, which could be 150 or 180 feet inside the water. It's a submersible pump. This is a battery-powered water level indicator. It's a big roll, has 400 feet of tape. What we're doing is we're taking this device, we're lowering it into the casing. There's markings on this tape. When the tape head reaches the water level, there's an audible sound that's represented on the machine. We take the measurement here, record it on our worksheets, then we go to the house, run faucets or an outside, and we're monitoring as we draw water out through the hose faucet. Is that dropping sufficiently, staying constant, or recovering? At the termination of using our battery water level indicator, retrieve the tape. We carefully take this splice. We put it in the casing, as I'm doing here. But of equal importance, this cap goes on here. This cap must be tight. We're dealing with sanitary issues here. We're dealing with potential ants and insects getting in there, and then we proceed to bolt it on securely for health reasons and sanitary reasons. Some houses have what we call a jet pump. This physical pump would be inside the basement next to the well holding tank. We call it a jet pump because, as you'll notice, it has two pipes of differential size. What happens is, if the water level is greater than 30 or 35 feet deep, the jet pump has to force water down into a venturi, or we call a foot valve, to get enough suction to come up. As buyers and agents, just because you see this pump in the basement does not mean that you have a shallow well. You can ascertain that by seeing the piping configuration. If it was a shallow well, it would only have one pipe. It would not have a two-pipe system. We're in the basement. This is a well holding tank. This tank, as any well holding tank, has two mediums. It's got air here and water here. There's a rubber bladder that separates those two mediums. This is a pressure switch. As the pressure depletes, the pressure switch connects, sends an electrical charge out to the submersible pump that we talked about earlier. This is an electrical control box that monitors the flow of the electricity out to the pump. I have my hand on a water conditioner. There's a time clock here. It's plugged into electricity. At a certain predetermined time, once a week, it back flushes. It takes the residual material that's been collected. It transports that through this plastic tubing. Prior to the state regulations, it was permissible to connect this hose to the waste pipe or the septic pipe within the house. This homeowner is prudent. He's adhering to the rules. He's not back flushing in here. It's going outside to the exterior of the house so he's not affecting the longevity of the septic system, the tank, and leaching field. Every house should have a filter. The purpose of this filter is to collect and catch particulate. This canister spins on, and there's a disposable cartridge in there that's changed by the homeowner 2 to 3 times a year. It's a function of the age of the house. If it's a brand new house, there's more sediment, probably every 3 months. An older house, established well system, 2 times a year. But it's paramount that you change these. If you do not, it will restrict the flow of water into all the fixtures. We're in the kitchen now. We are now performing the water sampling. We are taking these bottles and we will unscrew the cap. We've obviously washed our hands, sterilized the faucet, immerse that, put a cap on here, and we write on here our company name, Sound Home Inspection, the street location of the property, and the town in which the property is located. As you notice here, we have 4 bottles. The clear bottle is for bacteria only. We have a metals bottle, a non-metals, and one that's very important to us is radon and water. These bottles are then put into a refrigerated cooler. Chain of custody of form is completed. This is refrigerated. We take it directly to the lab or to the lab courier for immediate processing. After the lab performs their analysis of all the water samples, the customer and the home inspection company is in receipt of the analysis paper. There are numerous components that are checked. What's happened in the last 5 years has recommended and identified Connecticut as high areas of radon in water, arsenic, and uranium. That's why we're encouraging our buyers to do a full profile, because it is a health issue. The water test and the report is vital for the health of the homeowners and the longevity of the piping system within the home.
To learn more on wells or any other topic regarding home inspections, visit soundhomeinspections.com. And thanks for watching.